Good everybody, it's Matt here, and today in my journey to finding a new walking shoe for traveling in, I've got the Asics Gel Quantum 186 Pros to try on. Now these are a US men's 11, which is a Euro 45 and a UK size 10, and they're a bit of a chunky looking shoe. So let's whip them out of the box, check them out, and see what we think. So that's them. Now these shoes are made in Vietnam and we've got a lot of things happening here. They're predominantly a synthetic shoe, but there is some suede in the upper, in these detail areas around here. And otherwise it is a synthetic polyester textile upper, a synthetic EVA midsole with this gel section and rubber outsole. So they're a pretty nice looking shoe. They have an Ortholite insole, which is also quite nice. And it is removable in case you wish to change it to yourself. I really like the color of these shoes, this gray. It's the sheetrock colorway, and I think it is really nice and it's very flexible, goes with a lot of stuff. And while I'm not keen on this red detailing, there is not a lot of it. There really isn't. It only comes up just in this little bit of stitching around the tongue and the laces there. So it's a nice looking shoe. It's a bit chunkier though than I would normally go for. So I'm not sure about that, but let's try them on and see how they look. I'm trying these with my Skechers no-show socks, which is what I usually wear when I'm traveling and walking in general. You may have noticed as I was just doing this one up that the tongue is not fixed at all, so it does move around and it does come quite a ways up there. I actually feel like with my foot in here, the tongue is actually barely staying inside the shoe, which is kind of an odd sensation and not something you want. I mean, it seems to be okay with the laces done up, but it is kind of odd feeling. So that's them. First impressions are they're pretty cushy. They're pretty nice underfoot. My toe is sitting at about a finger's width back from the front of the shoe, so that's good. But they do feel a bit firm around here. So I think they're probably a bit of a narrower shoe. I do feel like it's a bit narrow around the heel area here too. So basically it's the whole arch section from the ball of the foot back to my heel I feel is a bit narrow, and I feel like I'm almost walking on the side of the shoe there. So probably not the right shoe if you have a wider foot, because my foot's not really wide, it's sort of mid, just bordering a little bit wide. So definitely these are a bit narrow, and it's as much as they're comfortable underfoot, that does feel weird, and it's probably going to shorten the life of the shoe, because if you're walking more on the side of the sole here, it's going to wear the shoe out faster because you're putting pressure on spots that are not meant to have pressure. I do think, given how chunky they are, they're quite a nice looking shoe. They're not way out there. And they do have this kind of look of like they're a cross between a walking shoe, running shoe, hiking shoe. I think the Ortholite sole was a really good choice with these. That combined with this gel here that's very squishy and the EVA foam in the midsole makes for a really nice feel underfoot in spite of the issues. I think if you're going with these, you need to go upper size. I'm kind of disappointed because I do really like the coloring, but I don't think they're for me, not just the sizing, but I think they're just a little bit chunkier than what I really want. And if I go up a size, I have a suspicion they're going to be a bit too long for me. Considering how chunky they are, they do feel quite light. They're definitely not as light as some of the other shoes that I've tried. They're one of the heavier ones, but they're not too bad. It's not like a full-on hiking shoe kind of heavy, which is good considering they do look a bit like it. They do breathe through this polyester textile section there, and also on the side of your foot here, which is nice. They're definitely not the most breathable shoe that I've tried, but they're kind of a good balance between, I suppose, a rigid, structured shoe and breathability. Underfoot, they feel really solid. There's tons of grip. I don't feel like they're going to slide around at all, which is a really nice thing to have in your walking shoes. And I do think these would cross over really, really well with running if that's something that you want to do. And that is kind of what these shoes are a little bit more aimed at as well, I think, anyway. Now, I already feel like these are really supportive around the ankle and that my foot's really locked in, but there is an extra lace hole here, which actually comes down further. Now, that's going to really pull your ankles into the shoe and locks them really tight in place. So if you're someone that likes that, you can definitely do that with these shoes. And that's a really nice thing. I certainly like it when I wear this type of shoe, to be able to know my ankle is locked in. They're not moving around. It's going to reduce rubbing, chafing, that sort of thing, which is awesome. Now, in terms of my no-show socks, they are visible here at the front and the sides, but it's not too much. That's quite good. And even though they disappear under the shoe at the back, the heel there does not appear to be rubbing at all. So that actually sits really nicely and is comfortable. And I think it's going to be great for walking in all day long with no-show socks. So that is the Asics Gel Quantum 186 shoe. I think they are a nice shoe. I think they are a really nice color. And for a chunkier shoe, they're not too out there. They're not too massive. They flex, they breathe well. And I think they're a good option. I don't like the fit though. For me, I feel like it's one of those shoes, it's too narrow basically through this section for me. And so I feel like going up a size to deal with that is potentially not going to solve the problem. But that said, they do lock you in nicely. They're comfortable otherwise. And I feel like they're probably quite a versatile shoe. They're close to being the sort of shoe that you could wear in some occasions that you need something a little bit nicer, just because even though they're chunky, the colors are so simple. The gel, though, does kind of take away from that a little bit, I would say. So probably not quite as flexible as they could be. I don't think these ones are for me, but I will say they are a nice shoe that could definitely fit the bill as a travel shoe if those things that are an issue for me are not going to be issues for you. So I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to like it and also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this from me. That's it from me. Have an awesome day.